Hello, friends. It's Carla, your online doctor, with today's Live in 5. Today is Thursday, July 23rd at 5 p.m. So, yesterday I mentioned the NBA Disney bubble. So, for sports fans, you all probably knew what I was talking about, but I had to look it up. It's very interesting stuff. Okay, so all 22 teams in the NBA have moved to Orlando, Florida, and are quarantined in Disney World. No, I guess things could be worse, right? They have many regulations to follow, including wearing masks, and at all times, except when playing basketball, of course, eating, or when they're outdoors. Now, their COVID rule book is actually 113 pages of rules. So this is kind of an experiment of sorts for the pro sports. Now, the problem with basketball as compared to a sport like tennis is it is a high contact game played indoors with no social distancing. So this is an experiment that they're not taking lightly. The NBA is trying to get the league up and running, which will begin, I believe the first game is July 30th. So isolating them in a bubble means if everyone is negative, meaning COVID negative, in the bubble, you can't get it from anyone, right? If everyone is negative, it doesn't matter how many people you hang out with, and it doesn't matter how close together you are. If everybody's negative and legitimately negative, meaning nobody has it. So they were quarantined on arrival. They get frequent testing and temperature checks, which continue after the isolation time is over as well. They can then socialize with other players and even attend others' games with no other fans in the arena, of course. Now, the games will be played at the Disney Parks ESPN Wide World of Sports complex, which is rather large. And I believe it can I think they can do 3 professional games at the same time, not just have practice courts. So it's pretty amazing. Now, the locker rooms will not be open. Dressing before and showering after the games will be done in their own private hotel rooms. Coaches will all wear masks. Basketballs will be disinfected and no touching your face. You can't touch your mouth guard, etc. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of rules and I'm sure people are going to be like, because they adjust them all the time. They're going to have to learn how to not touch their face, right? Players cannot have guests until the end of August. And then that will be after the first round of playoffs. So they've already gotten to a point where they're down to a smaller number of teams. And they cannot leave without permission. Okay, they will have to isolate for 14 days and then get retested and self-quarantine again. So, it's pretty intense. Now, if anyone tests positive, they will be moved to an isolation housing area off the NBA's campus until such time as they have 2 consecutive negative tests. And obviously then they have to do all the contact tracing to see who they've come in contact with. So if your star player tests positive, even if he never gets sick, he is out for a minimum of 2 weeks. That could really affect the playoffs altogether. Now, the Wide World of Sports complex is a 220-acre facility with more than a dozen practice courts and enough game-quality courts to play and broadcast, as I said, 3 games at once. Not just play, but broadcast 3 games at once. Starting July 30th, the teams will play 8 games to determine the final standings and who makes the playoffs. No team will have home court advantage, obviously, and nor will they have fans to cheer them on. It's going to be fanless, except for other players who can come and watch. Now, the only variable in this whole bubble scenario is the Disney staff members that won't be required to stay in the bubble. They will be allowed to come and go. They are obviously recommended to limit their contact and do all the other things when they're out of the Disney area, wear a mask, etc., etc. But they have set up rules to keep them away from the players as much as possible. So in terms of cleaning their rooms, they will be cleaning when the players are practicing, etc., and disinfecting in between. I mean, it's pretty intense. Now, only time is going to tell if this is going to work. So let's hope, of course, for you sports lovers that it does. But when I think about this kind of thing, I say to myself, if anybody going to be able to do it, it's going to be something like Disney, because they have systems down to run that place like clockwork. So let's hope and pray that this experiment works really well for not only the NBA players, but for fans around the world who are missing, all the sports that is out there. I know that tennis is kind of back. There's very little fans. I know the U.S. Open is coming up the end of August, early September. It's going to be very different. I know a lot of the players are hesitant to travel to New York, to come here to the States. There's going to be a lot of players who are who are not going to come to the U.S. Open, but are going to do the French Open, which is a couple of weeks later. It's just a big mess. So let's get some sports back. Let's get our lives back to some degree of normal, because that's one thing that makes, at least here in the U.S., everybody loves sports. We love baseball, we love basketball, football, and I love tennis. So there's a lot of sports happening. Hopefully this experiment is going to work, and again, let's keep our fingers crossed that it does. So if you want to know more about the NBA Disney bubble, Google it. It's pretty cool. You can actually read the whole rule book if you'd like to. I didn't, but you can. Anyway, on that note, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I will see you again tomorrow for another Live in 5.